1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Hold. 2, 3. Chicoo. Dave Von Ronk's Come Back, Baby. This is a beautiful song, a tricky song, but lovely. We're going to learn it together. This song was sponsored by... Ay, Dios mío. Nate Bieneman. Name that movie reference down below. I'm excited to bring you this song, guys. It is not a beginner piece. Hard blues song. I can't say that any measure is super hard to play, but the rhythm is really complicated. He's moving all over the neck, so to put it all together is hard. We got a D with an F sharp and the bass with a pull off. Complicated song. If you're a beginner, check out the Travis Picking playlist. Also on my website, I have the tabs database with all the songs rated by difficulty. I'm going to put this one at like a 6 out of 10, maybe even a 7. If you're not used to blues, the rhythm is also going to be really tricky on top of everything that's going on. Again, it's not like a virtuoso piece, but there's other things that make it hard. So we're going to put it at a 6 or a 7 out of 10 difficulty. If that's too hard, look at that database. Maybe start at a 4. It's a whole self-guided guitar course, that little database. By the end of this video, you're going to be playing some cool blues stuff. And I'm going to hold your hand. If you're new to Mike's Music Method, we're going through every darn measure. At the beginning, don't worry about rhythm. I'm just showing you where all the fingers are going, what's happening. And we kind of talk a little bit about the rhythm throughout the whole thing. And then we'll do slow run-throughs at the end of the video. So once you get a feel for what you're doing, play it along with me at the end. We'll also talk about singing it. That's the Campfire Ready section. So that'll be in there as well. All of that is time-stamped down below. Everyone's a different player. Some of you are more advanced. Some of you are beginners. So, bear with me if you're getting bored and I'm giving you too much detail. Just jump ahead a little bit because I want to make sure I'm catering to more beginners as well as advanced players. The tabs are free to download at mikesmusicmethod.com. But please support, guys. It's really the honor system and based on the value for value model. We'll talk more about that later. Come back, baby. Let's do it. Standard tuning. Excited to teach you guys this one. Thank you, Nate Bieneman. No Bieneman. One quick note before we dive in. Like I said, this rhythm is really loose, so I don't obsess about it in the tutorial. We're going to kind of roughly count it in 3, 4. But just trust your judgment on this stuff. Listen to Dave a lot, right? If you're going to learn this song, people forget to return to source material. So just listen to the song all the time, play it a bunch, and really, guys, focus on 2, 3, 4 measures at a time. That's it. Don't burn yourself out. Memorize a little bit at a time. Go from there. Let's do it. Yo, measure 1. We're playing the electric guitar today. So we're going to have a lot of double stops in this song. So at the beginning, he's doing a G chord like this, where we've got 3, 3, 4. Right, this comes from this big bar chord shape. We're simplifying, but not only that, he simplifies it more. He's just doing 3 and 4. That's it. So 3 on the top string, 4 on the third. And if you're not used to this idea, check out my right hand now. I'm going to be doing ring and pointer on those strings. If that's really weird, I suppose you could stretch pointer to middle, but that's really awkward for me. But if you practice anything, you get good at it. But I'm doing my pointer and my ring. Ring's on the first string, pointer is on the third. And we're going to pinch the 5th as well with our thumb. So it's thumb on 5, pointer on 3rd, ring on the top string. We're sliding into that chord. So my target is 3rd fret on the 1st string, 4th on the 3rd, 3, skip, 4, and I'm sliding up from 2 and 3, pinching all of them and sliding up 1 fret. Then immediately measure 2, we hit it again, then it's just the pointer finger, then it's just the thumb and the ring. So really slow, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Really awkward. Get used to that separation with those right hand fingers, but that is the idea. Measure 3, we continue. We slide up from that G chord to an A chord. So that's going to be 3 and 4, sliding to 5 and 6. Then he pinches all of them again. So again, the top of measure 3, I'm hitting, again, all 3 of those strings. The 5th, the 3rd, and the 1st. Then I'm doing it again. Measure 4, he just hits open. And I know the rhythm is going to be really confusing in this song. We'll get there. I'm just showing you the parts, and then once we get a little bit down, we can talk about the flow. So measure 3, then 4, we're just hitting it open. Measure 5, 5th string, 3rd, 1st, still on that A chord. Measure 6, we just hit A, brief pause. Now before we continue with 6, let's talk about rhythm here for a second. So everything is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's really heavily swung. And this intro in particular, it's almost like he puts in extra time, so it's really hard to count and follow. I would trust your judgment there, but one thing to practice is like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we're really after that kind of bluesy pulse, where it feels really swung. On those triplets, we're skipping that second beat, so it has that cool swing feel. So let's do all the intro up to measure 6. 1, 2, 3, pinch and pinch, slide, pinch, 1, 2, 3. He does 1, 2. Cool, so you notice in measure 4, he's just letting that whole thing ring. Otherwise, the thumb is doing this almost the whole time. That's what we're chasing. So back to measure 6, after we hit that open, we are going to slide, check this out, this is fun, 8 to 10. So I'm doing the 8th fret on the B string, sliding it to 10. I'm also pinching that first note, so pinching the 5th string with the 2nd, and that's the 8th fret, sliding it up to 10. Then I'm going to put the 9 down with my middle finger. Now there's a couple ways to do it. You can slide that 8 with either your ring or your middle, but just know right afterwards, we also have to get the 9th fret. So I'm sliding from 8 to 10, then doing the 9th on the top string. But I'm pinching right at the beginning, 5 and 2, slide. Then I'm pinching again the 5th in the top string, and I'm getting that 9 up there. So sliding the 8 with the 5th string to 10, then I'm pinching the 9 with the ring finger. And I suppose you could change your fingers, right-hand fingers here, sorry. You could do it with your pointer, then the middle. You don't have to follow this tight. Ring finger's always on the 1st string, right? No, use your dominant fingers when you can. So that's what that looks like. Slide, pinch, pinch and slide and pinch. Then we go right back to the 2nd string. Do my pointer finger on 10. Then I'm moving that little chord shape down 2 frets to 7 and 8. And I'm pinching all 3 of them again, 5th, 2nd, and 1st. Then just open again. So 2, well I guess it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, it's so hard to play it that slow because you lose the groove. Sounds like that. Hard to play it that slow. Here it is up to speed. That's clean. And you can think of this as like an A chord, right? It's a D shape on the 10th fret. D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. And then he's bringing it down to a G. So that's how Ronk is thinking through these things. You might think like, man, we're not doing cowboy chords, but he's still basing all his thinking on the main chord progression, right? It might not be a G like that you're used to, but this is still a G on 7/8/7. So not rocket science once you learn the layout of the guitar, and I have videos on that. Check out the Hub of Guitar Goodness on my website, or just search How to Get Better at Guitar is the name of the playlist. All right, measure 9, we just do open on the 5th string. We're still on 7 and 8 here, and actually it's probably easiest to do it with pointer middle, and I'll show you why in a second. So I'm still doing 7, 8, pointer middle. And it's 5th string, top 2, 5th string, then open, then we hold it, then we move down, and we hit these 2 5s. So it's basically an A chord, 5, 5, 6, but he's just hitting these 2 5s. And I can do that with ring finger on the top and then middle. And so if you can kind of track it like this, the reason that's easy is because my middle finger is always on the B string. It's always on the second string. So I can lead with that finger and it makes all that motion a lot easier to do those shapes. So one more time for measure 9. 1, 2, 3. Hold, move it with a pinch. 1, 2, 3. Measure 11, open on the 5th, open on the 3rd, and then 2nd fret on the 4th string. Just kind of implying like an A7 chord, right? Chickum. I already shot this part of the video, but I'm gonna clarify measure 12 because I don't want you to end up doing this D chord multiple ways. I think it's just gonna confuse you. So check this out. In 12, we have a D with an F sharp in the bass. Sometimes it's a sus2 chord. So you're either playing nothing or you're playing open on the top string. Then on the 2nd string, here's the tricky part. Later in the song, he does a 3-to-1 pull off, right? So you can do that ring finger to pointer or pinky to pointer, but just note that you have to do it one of those ways. So it changes how you're gonna play the chord. If you're gonna do 3-to-1, I would recommend then putting your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So 3 is on the 2nd string, 2 is on the 3rd. Then do thumb over the top. And that way you can pull off that 3-to-1. For me, that is a handful. It's hard for me to stretch that. I actually would put my pinky down there on that 3rd fret, and then I can pull off like that. So my ring finger's not doing anything. The other method is if your pinky's there, this is interesting. You could do your ring finger on the 3rd string, middle finger goes on the lowest one, then you could pull off to the 1st fret like that. So if you can do thumb over the top, I'm doing it like this. Sorry, I'm doing it like this. Pinky's pulling off to pointer, my middle finger's on the 3rd string, thumb is over the top, no ring finger. Or you do it like this, and you're using all of them, not using the thumb. So just something to note. This is the trickiest chord in the song. Figuring out how you're going to finger that D chord. Spend some time. Do you want to do the thumb over the top or not? And stick with the same way you're fingering it so you don't confuse yourself. But right here, what we need is just 2 on the 6th string, 2 on the 3rd, and then open on the 1st. And we're going to pinch those thumb, pointer, middle. That. And then we're gonna pinch instead of 6-3-1, we're gonna do 6-3-2, and that's where I have that 3rd fret down. So it's pinch, hold, pinch. So pinch 6-3-1, 6-3-2. Then measure 13 is just 6th string, 3rd string, 6, still all on the same chord. 14 is 6, hold it. Pinch 6, 3, and 4 here. You can even strum it if you want to. And then here, this one's fun. We kind of bend that 3rd fret. And that can be hard with the pinky. That's why, sometimes... And it doesn't matter if you pull down the 2 with it, honestly. Actually... Yeah, I guess either way you do this, because what happens next is after we bend that top one, we go to I don't even know what you want to call this chord. It's kind of just a passing tone where we have open. He hits the low E. You think he would just go straight to the F, but he doesn't. He hits the low E with the C. So open on the 6th string and then 1st fret on the 2nd. And then he moves that into an F chord. So we let that 1 ring out. And then I'm doing F with the thumb over the top. Again, I have a lot of videos on how to tackle bar chords. One's called That Damned F Chord. Again, mikesmusicmethod.com. Create an account, go to that hub of guitar goodness, or just search YouTube. But plenty of videos on bar chords and how to handle this thumb over the top. Good news is we don't need to do the double bar. We can just do nothing, 1, 2, 3. So we're hitting these, and then we move it into the F chord. So after I hit 6 and 2, I'm dropping it into the F, and I'm hitting 6 with 3 there. So I'm doing thumb middle, thumb pointer. So let's take it from 14 real quick on that D chord. 2, 3. 3. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3. Measure 17. We're still on an F. 6, 3 and 4. Back to 6. 18, just hit 6. Hold it, pinch 6, 3 and 4. 19, we pinch. There's kind of a bigger one here. You can pinch all 4 of those notes, or you can just kind of strum. I'm pinching, but you could strum. So we have 6, 3 and 4. Then 6, 3, 4 and 2. Then we put the pinky down on the 3rd fret, which gives us that cool F6 chord. So the melody is boop, ba, ba. We get that 2, 1, 3 on the top. I love 20 here. We're gonna do like just a normal A chord. So I got 2nd fret on the G string, and I'm gonna pinch 5 with it. But he slides it all the way up to the 9th fret. And it's kind of you really hear it drag. I love that part. Kind of absurd. Oh, sorry. And then with that, after you do the 9, I'm going to put my pointer finger down on the 8th fret of the B string, but I'm going to pinch 5 with it when I hit it. So pinch, slide, and pinch again. Then 21, we just hit that open A, let it linger. 22, open A. Now we're right here. I'm going to use my ring finger to get to the 10th fret of the B string. Pinch, then go right back down to 8. Pinch again. 3rd string is open, and I'm pinching 6 and 1 at the end there. Very cool. The donation pitch. Guys, I'm working hard for you out here. It's been 5+ years of a lot of labor pouring into this channel to bring you these amazing tunes. That being said, it's been a labor of love, and to all of you already donating, thank you. So Mike's music method, it's a value for value model. You're seeing me struggle teaching you this song. Blues, it's hard to teach these bluesy tunes because there's so much to the feel, but I'm trying my best. If you've made it this far, I'm sure you think I'm doing a good job. So the way value for value works is it's simple. People get confused, but I don't want paywalls because I don't want broke people to not get access to these tabs. Or even people not with a lot of money, they're not going to go through the paywall and give it a try. So it's paywall free so that people can see that I'm genuine about what I do. And if you're broke or there's tons of younger kids too who don't have jobs who are getting access to this content that they otherwise wouldn't. So I don't want anything to get in the way of people who can't afford it. That being said, I'm putting a lot of hard work into this, a ton of time. And so if you have the means, and most of you do, then please chip in. That could be a one-time contribution every time you learn a song. It could be the easiest way is a monthly subscription. That helps me out the most because then I know how much time I can dedicate to this channel. If I'm getting $100 a month versus $20,000 a month, which I'm not getting. You know what I mean? I could gauge how many hours I can put towards this YouTube channel. I'm trying to make it the day job. It clearly isn't there yet, but I am getting a lot of support, so thank you. We're inching up to where hey, it is part of my income, so thank you guys so much. That being said, whatever, you know what I'm saying. It's the value for value model. I'm putting so much time into this channel, so if you're learning from it, can you support with $50 a month, $20 a month, $5 a month? It's up to you. There's so many ways to donate. It could be a membership on my website. You can keep the free membership on my website and simply pay me through Zelle or PayPal or Venmo or BTC or snail mail me a check. So I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for you guys. Give what you can, when you can, in whatever way you can. And then the tabs and the tutorials are there for you. That's it. Let's keep going with the song. Let's keep going. 24, we hit the low one, rest. Then we have open and then 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And we're gonna bend that. 25 is just open on the 6, open on the 1st. Then we strum a big E7 chord. Think of your E major with the pinky down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And if you want to, I can't tell how he's voicing it. I don't know if the ring finger's in there. I think it's open on that string. I'm not positive. Before we start measure 26, I want to encourage you. I know it seems like a lot Try to maybe tackle this 4 measures every day and force yourself to get off the page, look away, right? Learn a measure or two, and then can you play it without looking at the page? Make sure you really try a couple of minutes of trying your best to recall all of it, because if you don't use recall and you keep looking at the page, not a good way to memorize things. You really have to test yourself, make yourself uncomfortable, try your mind a little bit, and that's the way to do it. Learn it, look away, try to use active recall. Only after you've done that and are really stuck do you look back at the tab that you have printed out that you got from mikesmusicmethod.com. So don't get overwhelmed. The good news is we're almost done, and then this whole thing just kind of loops. Of course, there's variation. It's Dave Von Ronk, but the intro is the same as a verse, same as a verse, same as a verse. It's just one big thing that loops the entire song. Don't get overwhelmed. Again, if you just think of it as 4 measures a day, I mean, by the end of the week, right? You know math. 7 times 4, 7, 14, 21, 28. You'll have 28 measures. That's darn good progress. In 2 weeks, you'll have the whole song. I don't know how many measures it is, but we're getting there. So let's keep going. So 25 ended with that nice big E7 chord. Then 26, this is kind of weird. He's lifting everything except the 3rd fret, and he pinches 6, 3, and 2, but he hammers into that D chord. So I guess here you are kind of forced to use your pinky. I mean, unless you're moving that ring finger after you strum the chord. So I imagine Ronk does probably hammer the chord down like this, because he's got the E7, and then I'm still hearing, at least my ear thinks it's hearing that D still on top. So pinch 6, 3, and 2 with only the pinky down, and I'm hammering these 2 down on the 2nd fret back into that D chord. Then we just pinch 6 and 3. Then we hit all of them again. And there he does a pull off. So for sure he's doing the pinky, right? That's the giveaway. Sorry I didn't tell you that sooner. Because he pinches, and then he pulls off. And notice that, I don't know how to, I have to fix my tab here. Maybe it'll be corrected, but I wrote 3 again. You actually just bend, you release on B2, then you pull off. So you're not actually playing that 3 again. Then we hit the 3rd fret, or sorry, 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And sorry, the rhythm here, I might have been counting it wrong. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A little slower. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it's 1, 1, 2, and you bend on 1, 1, you release on 2, and the and beat of 2, you're doing the pull off, and then 3 is the 3rd string. Really cool. I'm glad I used an electric. I just did it because I was too lazy to tune my other guitar. Because it's a lot harder to do those bends on an acoustic guitar. 28, we just play an A chord. And we're doing just strumming from the 5th string down a little bit. And then it's the A chord with our pinky down on the 5th fret of the top one. And then he just hits those high. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 29. Low, straight to the high, but now it's the 3rd fret. We have that, I love this voicing of an A7 where we got the G on top. 3rd fret of the top string, so low, high, then we kind of lift the chord and pinch 5 and 1 open. Nearly there, guys. 30 is really cool. Check this out. I'm going to use, so again, remember how we did that D chord, right? I'm trying the best way to explain all this stuff. So it's middle and ring are on the 6th and 3rd strings, right? We're going to play 6 and 3 open. I'm going to hammer on both of those 1s on the 1st and 3rd string. Then slide it up to 2. 1 and 2 is the rhythm. 1 and 2. Then I pinch 6 and 2, but I got my 1st fret down. So now it's that same idea where we did the pull off, right? He pulls off from the 3 to the 1, so it makes like a D7. So we're not bothering with the 3, he's going straight to the 1. So we got that cool little hammer slide, pinch 6 and 2. And I'm pinching thumb and middle there, but so it's thumb and pointer, then thumb and middle. Yeah, I love that. Then we got 6. open, just lift open on the second string. Then we go to the A chord, pinching 5 and 2, or sorry, 5 and 3. Then he strums it. Then he puts his pinky down, does it twice, hold, does it twice. That's it. Hold or rest, and then he goes right back to the beginning. Go to the top of the song. Holy guacamole. So measure 2 to 34, that's the bulk of the song. As I said before, Ronk's always adding a little variation, so come on, don't get mad at me if it's a little bit later or different later on the third verse or something. I can't go through the whole darn thing. You all would get bored, it'd be tedious, it would drive me nuts. But this is it. Use your judgment to kind of maybe change the rhythm up, add some extra notes, learn how to feel this out. You can't sight read the blues, guys, you know. So you can learn off the tab, get close, but then you got to put in your own variation, so be creative with it. Last note is, you know, the song would repeat 2 to 34 basically, but just note the very last time, after you get to measure 32, that's when you wouldn't do the same ending 33, 34 again, but you would jump to 35, and he just ends the song on that A7 idea again. Right, instead of doing that high one, on the 5th fret he does the 3rd, and the song ends on that A7. That's it. Chica, let's get this thing Campfire ready. Now this is still going to be kind of complicated, because you could just play the chords here, and I'll supply a chord chart for this song. You could just strum the chords like as open chords. That'd be fine, but I don't think that's going to help you with your goal of actually learning the song, if that is one of your goals, right? To play it how he's doing it. So what I would do is just loosely track these chord shapes, right? So don't follow along with me. We're just going to play it real loose here. I'm going to show you the process. Hey, come back, baby. Don't go the way I love you. You'll never know. Right, so I'm just very loosely kind of going along with the chord shapes. Don't worry about every individual little hit and thing, you know. So we're on that F. Yes, come back, baby. Let's talk it over. One more time. So slowly over time, you're gonna kind of just wing those shapes. Think, 1, 2, 3. Even if you're strumming it or like kind of just pinching. And we're just getting used to the changes and where the vocals go. I'm not gonna do a long. I almost said amment. My kids say amment all the time. I amn't going to do a long, drawn-out thing here, but that's it. Those are my tips for you to just kind of get the shapes, start putting the words in where they go, and then as you get better and better at the tutorial that we just did over the coming weeks or months, and you keep practicing it this way, hopefully all that detail will meet your intuition, and that's what we're chasing. I'm going to leave it at that because you don't want to watch me stumble through this. Trust your own process on this. Slow run-throughs. Let's not do the whole thing. Let's do this in bites here. So we're going to go from measure 1 to 16, so the first 4 kind of bars of the song. And now again, I know I wrote this in 3/4, but it's kind of got like a swing feel, and I'm not necessarily counting it in 3/4. I mean, I am, but I'm just feeling it out, so keep that in mind. We come in on beat 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Hold. 2, 3. Hold. Loop that. There's lots of different apps. I think there's a plugin called Transpose. It's just a plugin for your browser where you can actually set up loop points in a YouTube video, or just use third-party software, drop an MP3 of the song into there and set up loops. Practice that way. From 17 to the end, slow run. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Pinch. 2, 3. Hold. 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 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Let me repeat from the beginning. It's hard to do that slow. So I know we're doing slow run-throughs, but if that's just like what is going on, go back to doing 2 measures at a time, no more than 4, and make sure you can get a good musical flow before taking on bigger chunks.